What's up, everyone? Today, we're not going to be smoking on some top 5 today. That's the worst part of everything. We've been going through some roller coasters here in 2023, especially in the gaming field. And just yesterday, we got a whole bunch of dog shit that just started piling up out of nowhere. So, you guys may know the game engine Unity. Some of your favorite games may have come from that specific engine. And of course, we have some of the meme games too. Like whenever you see like a made with Unity, you know that it's gonna be kind of like it's gonna be a roller coaster of a video game, right? So you might recognize some names like Cuphead. We got Pokemon Go, Beat Saber, Rust, right? Like we got all the classics here. Even Fall Guys and like something like Tunic, right? Genshin Impact too, especially one of the big ones. A whole bunch of developers have basically shut up, Windows. Come on, man. So a whole bunch of developers have basically been shafted in this past day or two. It's kind of insane. There's been like an insane backlash, and let's get right into it. Let's see what's going on with Unity, essentially. All right, so let's start with their website, right? If we're gonna get some information about Unity, we might as well go straight to the source. So you can see here they say changes to Unity plans and pricing. New features are coming to Unity's plans. A runtime fee will apply to games that meet revenue and install thresholds, and the Unity Plus plan is no longer available for new subscribers. So what does this mean? Right, like it's really vague. It's just like, hey, there's gonna be a fee to people who have revenue and install thresholds, which is not like a new thing, right? Like Unreal Engine, they take a cut after you make your first million, right? And that's about it. But something about this is kind of sus, right? We're getting a little sus vibes out of this one, especially this line right here, the install thresholds. What's that about now, Unity? Let's go down. Let's see what they have to say about it. So you can see here the changes to pricing. This is like the beginning of their support page right here, pricing updates. So what changes are being made to the pricing? We are introducing a Unity runtime fee that applies to certain Unity subscription plans based on per game installs across any Unity supported game platform. So as you know, Unity is used with a lot of stuff, right? There's VR, there's actual like production stuff where you can use like the engine to actually make like backgrounds and all that. Whatnot, but this is mostly just for the people who make video games. So this is already pretty crazy because it says we are introducing a runtime fee that is based on per game installs. That's pretty fucking insane. Luckily, I think they actually recently just changed this, so this is like a new update to it. It says creators only pay once per download. So for Personal and Unity Plus, the Unity runtime fee will apply to games made with Unity Personal and Unity Plus that have made $200,000 or more in the last 12 months and have at least 200,000 lifetime installs. Unity Pro and Enterprise, the runtime fee will apply to games made with Unity Pro and Enterprise that have made $1 million USD or more in the last 12 months and have at least 1 million installs. So this is pretty crazy. The fact that you can say, hey, it's also based on installs. So that could mean a lot of things, and a lot of people are worried because what about demos, right? What about like people who pirate it? Like, are we gonna have to pay for all that stuff too? So they're going based off of installs. Like that's pretty insane. Like there's no other company that does it right now. Hopefully it doesn't become a standard. A lot of people are like, yo, don't do this stuff. So what does this really even mean to everyone in general, right? So if we go to this tweet right here, so this is Danny Dev. If you don't know him, he made Crab Game. It was one of those big Steam games that popped up. You can see here he actually came back and tweeted. He's been like AFK for a bit, so he probably has Unity Personal or Unity Plus as a subscription. And so you can see here it's 20 cents per install, right? And if we look at his numbers, so he also posted his numbers at the bottom here. So from his two games, he has one called Muck, the other one is Crab Game. So he had $12 million from one and about $60 million from the other. And he calculated that if this plan actually came into action, which it is coming by January 1st, 2024, he would have had to pay $5.6 million to Unity just based off of like downloads. See, like it's something to take it from the actual like cut that you make from the game, but to do it based off of downloads is insane. There's a whole bunch of problems with this too, because like think about it like this: if you're mad at like a developer, right, because they didn't do something you liked in a game, what you could do just to like piss them off is grab a bunch of your friends and be like, hey, download this game, uninstall it, and re-download it 10 times. Those count as downloads. That's insane, man. That's gonna ruin a whole bunch of people who are just trying to make a living, right? They're just trying to do what they love doing best. That's disturbing. So maybe thinking, hey, like, what's gonna happen here? This is mostly gonna affect like indie devs. So if we go down here to Unity Industry, so these are like your AAAs, your Genshin Impacts, and all that stuff. So we see that they state here that Unity Industry plan pricing will not change at this time. In November 2023, all industry plans will gain access to the following features, and there's a bunch of features. But it says right here, does the Unity runtime fee apply to Unity Industry users? So the Unity runtime fee does not apply to the industry customers on a Unity Industry subscription plan. So these are your big AAAs. So they're not going to be affected by this, which is like, okay. So we're really just targeting like the smaller creators essentially with this, and they're just trying to grab as much money as they can from it, which is, I guess, is fully their right. But at the same time, you're ruining a whole bunch of games because most of these creators need this like income, right? If they want to keep making what they want to, if they want to keep doing all that, Unity's just gonna grab a whole bunch of it. There have been some people who have been like vocal about their stuff, right? And some of them have even like given like codes out for like donations and all that. And now if Unity like puts this into effect, right? Those people who like do things for like charities where they're like, hey, give this stuff away, like they can have it, like things like that. If a game gets downloaded, they're gonna get charged for it. That's insane. Like that gets rid of a lot of like good that people can do with their games on top of that. And there are people who are wondering about like, hey, like what about stuff from like Game Pass, right? This is like one of the things that they said that has come from Unity, and they stated that as for Game Pass and other subscription services, went and said that developers like Aggro Crab will not be on the hook as the fees are charged to distributors, which in the Game Pass example will be Microsoft. And let's be real here, I don't think Microsoft is going to take any fucking shit from Unity being like, hey, yeah, we need like $30 million from you guys because you're distributing our game. There's no way anyone's going to stand for that. So it may not be like affecting these AAA companies directly, but distributors are not going to be happy about this because they're probably not going to want to pay for people downloading a game on their end. That's pretty clear and obvious. So Unity's kind of just making enemies with everyone here at this point, other than the AAA developers. But game distributors, this also kind of puts small game developers kind of in danger who are using Unity too, right? If they want to sign up with like a distributor, this might be like something where the distributor is like, yo, we don't want to pay for the stuff, so like, sorry, we don't want you. And even if it's like a really good game, if they don't want to pay for the distribution rights like that and give money to Unity for that specific reason, they might as well just go fuck themselves, right? Like what's the point at that point? And so we got some tweets here from Steven Totilo, and he's a writer on Axios. And so you can see here that he stated he got some clarifications from Unity regarding their plan to charge developers per game install. Remember, that's the biggest problem, the disgusting part, after clearing thresholds. So they have to hit a threshold first, and then they'll start taking money, of course, which was that 200,000 install number or the 1 million install number based on what subscription plan you have. And they automatically force you to go to like a different subscription plan as you like reach different thresholds too. As you can see here that he stated, if a player deletes a game and reinstalls it, that's 2 installs, 2 charges. So this is that thing where it's like, hey, if you're mad at a game developer who made their game in Unity, especially if they're like a small developer, you just go back and re-download that game 20 times, and that costs them like a good amount of money just for that. So same if they install on 2 different devices, right? If it's the same account but on different devices, that's 2 installs right there. So charity games and bundles are exempted from fees. So at the very least, they like budget on that, where like if you give it away and if it's like in like a bundle, like a humble bundle or something, they'll waive the fee, which is like, okay, that's the least you can do, but like this is still really stupid. And he also stated that the charge per installation seemed vulnerable to abuse, as noted by The Rami, which is another game developer guy. Unity says it will use fraud detection tools and allow developers to report possible instances of fraud to the compliance team. So this is that pirating thing, right? If like someone pirates it, does that count as a download? And it seems like it probably will. But like you have to go towards the support team to make sure that you didn't get like charged for someone pirating your game. That's pretty fucking insane. The onus should not be on the person who made the game to go report that to you. You should be the one doing that. Even though they say that like they have fraud detection tools, who knows how effortless that's gonna be, right? It's probably gonna be dog shit. Let's be real here. So, and then after that, like a couple hours later, after they got like a whole bunch of backlash, especially on Twitter, Unity has now told him that they've changed their tune on some of their policies. And let's go ahead and read what those policies are. So you can see here that he stated Unity regrouped and now says that the initial installation of a game triggers a fee. So they're not budging on the fact that they don't want to remove like per install download fees. Like that's below the line for them. But when it comes to initial installation, they're like, okay, fine, we'll budge on that. If they install on more than one device, like more than one time, we'll waive it. And quite frankly, it's probably best for them too, because you're not going to be able to fucking like track these people who are pirating or using fraud or having an abusive systems and stuff like that. You're not going to be able to do that well. Let's be real here. So this is another part. So demos initially were included in that, but they finally budged and they were like, yo, okay, demos mostly won't trigger fees. Now, what does that mean, right? It's not quite clear. And there's more in his like article over here. I'll probably link it down below. You guys can go check it out if you want to. So devs are not on the hook for Game Pass, and that's where it is where the distributors are actually going to be paying for that, which is also pretty fucking crazy because I don't think any distributor is going to want to do that. Hey guys, so a little update here. They actually just posted this morning, it looks like. Or it's either that or I somehow missed it, but they actually have like a FAQ now about the runtime fee itself. What is the fee? As we've gone over, it's based on per game installs across any Unity supported game platforms. That's mobile, that's computers, that's all of that. Who does it apply to? It's those subscription fees. How are non-gaming applications impacted? As we said earlier, it does not apply to film, gambling, or education subscriptions. When does it take effect? Is January 1st, 2024. And what is the revenue for? So you can see here, this is the reasoning that they gave. So each time a game is downloaded, Unity's runtime code is also installed. The Unity runtime fee goes towards the continued investment in that code to support the billions of devices served that month, but also into the pockets of the CEOs of Unity. Of course, we can't forget that. So do I still need to pay for my Unity subscription plan? This is a yes. They're like, yeah, of course you need to do, bro. You're just giving us more money. Don't worry about it. How is Unity collecting the number of installs? So this is the actual, like, the meat of it. So we leverage our own proprietary data model, and we will provide estimates of the number of times the runtime is distributed for a given project. This estimate will cover an invoice for all platforms. Like they're saying, hey, like trust us, don't worry, we won't fuck you over or anything. We will get the correct number of installs and everything. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat your socks off or anything like that. So will installs of a demo or a game in open access or beta count towards the Unity runtime fee? So this is that ambiguity from earlier. If a user can access a full game, e.g. via an in-game upgrade or purchase, then install counts towards the fee. So if it's like a mobile game, yes, you're going to get fucked. If a user can't access the full game, it's only one level, then that demo would be considered a separate package and not counted towards the fee. Sometimes people can't like essentially like make just one level from their game, you know? It's just like that sometimes. But fuck them anyways. So at the very least, we have the people who can make like short demos. So at least they're not affected. In addition, we don't intend to capture or count installs for QA testing. So that's definitely good because I mean you need a QA test a game for it to be like actually sent out. How will people be invoiced? You'll be invoiced monthly based on the month's install data essentially. So let's skip that. Let's go over to the actual. This one's funny too. You can get a discount if you use their other stuff like their Unity level play mediation for mobile ad supported games. So if you use their ad distributing stuff, they will give you a discount on it. Don't worry. So just go give them more money so they can give you a discount so they can stop taking more of your money essentially. So this one's the important one. How will we approach fraudulent or abusive behavior which impacts the install count? We do already have fraud detection practices in our ad technology, which is solving a similar problem. So we will leverage that know-how as a starting point. We recognize that users will have concerns about this, and we will make available a process for them to submit their concerns or to our fraud compliance team. And going down here, does Unity runtime fee apply to pirated copies of games? We're happy to work with any developer who has been the victim of piracy, so they're not unfairly hurt by unwanted installs. So essentially, let me go full screen here for a second. They're like, hey, listen, if it's been pirated, you're gonna get hit with the installs, but you can come talk to us if you want to like get your money back at all, maybe. But if you're not gonna come talk to us, we're just gonna keep it. So You're gonna get a monthly invoice from us, so don't worry about it. You won't have any of that details. So this is the crazy part. Like, how are you just gonna know that your game is pirate? How do you know that? How do you differentiate that? You can't do that shit, man. Like, I don't know, man. This is like whole fucking insane. They just added this today, and I still think it's dog shit, and it still is dog shit. Let's be real here. So our big companies, even like Among Us out here, they're like, they tweeted, "Stop it." Let's see that. These are Innersloth devs. Stop it. What the fuck? Because no one wants this, man. It's really shit. Especially like just springing on this on people like out of nowhere all of a sudden, right? Like, I don't think there was any warning before this. I didn't hear anything about it. Everyone like collectively heard it at the same time. You can see here that Among Us states that we use Unity to make our games. This would harm not only us, but fellow game studios of all budgets and sizes. This goes through. We delay content and features our players actually want to port our games elsewhere, as others are also considering. But many developers won't have the time or means to do the same. Stop it. What the fuck? And he's got a point, right? Like, if they're taking like a big ass chunk, like for the crab game guy, $5.6 million. That's pretty fucking insane. All right, so in the article they state that he hoped this would allay fears of install bombing, because they were like, hey, deleting and installing a game would result in multiple fees, but now they were like, hey, okay, let's renege it, as we said earlier. And they come out here and state, but an extra fee will be charged if a user installs a game on a second device, say a Steam Deck, after installing a game on a PC. This is like such nitpicking at little bits. Like, this is insane, man. I don't understand what the point is. They're not hosting anything, right? They're just like, hey, if someone installs this game and Unity's running it, pay up. Give me your money. Pay up. Come on. Someone installed it twice. Where's my money? Come on. It's like, fuck off. So what does this mean for us, right? This probably means that people are going to move off Unity. And it's already been happening. People have been making memes about it. The issue is, like, you know, for a lot of small devs, especially if like they're making their game currently, they're in the middle of it, it's hard. You can't just like switch like an engine like that so easily, and it's gonna stifle a lot of people. Hopefully that they can at least find a way to kind of like make amends with this, right? Unity needs to fucking back the fuck off. They need to calm down. I don't know why they decided to be like, hey, no one's doing this, but we're gonna pioneer this change, right? We're gonna pioneer the fact that, hey, if you get a bunch of installs on multiple different devices, we're taking a whole bunch of money from you. So the crazy part is that they're still taking money from you in the subscription, and also based on the amount of downloads you have, like the how many people like bought your game. They're also getting funds from the fact that people are still downloading the game that they own already from the developer instead. Like, that doesn't really make sense, man. This is just like classic money grubbing mechanics, really, that they're employing to these people. Let's hope that Unity can kind of see their stupid mistakes here. The people who are like in the middle of making their games, I'm so sorry for you, and we all believe in you, and good luck. Fuck Unity. That's all it really is. 1 fuck, 2 fucks, 4 fucks, all at once, baby. All at once. And with that being said, if you guys like what you saw, drop a like, drop a dislike if you disliked it, and fuck Unity, guys. Peace.